congrats to Great Britain for an amazing performance, also in full spirit. Thank you. And now it's time for the trophy, which will be presented by Handicap, as I said. Spirit Awards for Great Britain and the World Flying Disc Federation 2022 World Junior Ultimate Championships gold medalist in the over 70 women's division is, of course, Italy. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us during this medal ceremony. And, of course, see you in another game. Thank you. Now it's time for some rest, and in a minute, I hope we will start another part of ultimate emotions.
Bichon picks up, and they've got a short field. They've got another goal. It's tied up at 12. I cannot believe what I'm seeing.
Can Lola Dam chase that one down? That is a score!
Bichon picks up, and they've got a short field. They've got another goal. It's tied up at 12. I cannot believe what I'm seeing.
Can Lola Dam chase that one down? That is a score for Harsliker Elverkel. Fantastic run by Julia Love.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge.
And we believe that requires knocking down the paywall.
We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch, and we want them to go viral.
When you become a member, you enable us to improve our working relationships with tournament organisers, events and federations.
And you'll help us to produce live stories for Ultimate fans, and to generate new fans with our enhanced content.
We are a group of Ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts, and we want to bring you coverage on a more consistent basis. We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Ciao ragazzi, support the community.
Let's subscribe ULTI.TV. There's lots of the videos, posting, everything. Check it out. They are the best one. Woo!
If you want to grow Ultimate Sports, become a member of ULTI.TV.
Regardez ULTI.TV. Deviens un membre ULTI.TV et fais grandir ta communauté.
Top ULTI.TV. Följ eroginki med Ultimate Vendromene. Si quieres ayudar a ULTI.TV, puedes ser miembro de ULTI.TV.
Thumbs up for ULTI.TV.
Everyone, follow ULTI.TV on Instagram, on YouTube. They've got everything.
Best content.
Like their pictures if you love Frisbee, just do it.
We're counting on you.
Bli medlem på ULTI.TV.
Became member
of ULTI.TV.
Mamma mia.
Contribue au développement d'Ultimate avec ULTI.TV.
Like and subscribe, ULTI.TV, the best in the world.
We want to grow Ultimate.
we want to grow Ultimate. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We have our signature style 2-camera setup,
with thousands of hours of experience.
and our crew is globally dispersed to facilitate coverage everywhere around the world. We can also scale back our broadcast with just one elevated camera, or scale up with 2 fields, 2 cameras, and 2 commentators on each.
We work with local teams and we all have the same mission, to grow the sport and bring it to new people by providing live coverage and news stories.
Become a member today on our Patreon page.
And fund our work to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories, ideas and live coverage to the eyes of the ultimate world and beyond.
Always on the move? You can keep up to date with ULTI.TV on all of our social media channels. Like, follow, subscribe, share us with a friend, or send us a message just to say hey. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to grow Ultimate everywhere.
Hello and welcome back to ULTI.TV's coverage of the joint Juniors Ultimate Championships live from Wrocław, Poland. The week is drawing to its thrilling climax and finals day part 1 continues now with the final under-17 final of the tournament. It's in the open division and, stop me if you've heard this one before, it is France versus Italy.
Hold on, I'm going to stop you right there.
Yeah?
It is France against Italy. No, I just wanted to, you said stop me if you heard it. I heard it.
Oh, I see what you did there, sorry. See, we're already in the A game here on commentary. It's Benjamin Rees alongside Christina Obermeier, excited to see how this all plays out. On the women, under-17 women's side, Italy captured gold and France the silver, while Italy also took the silver home in the under-17 mixed division as well. It promises to be a bumper encounter, I reckon, Christina.
Yeah, it will be. I'm sure it will be. Both these sides have been looking clinical this week.
The way the under-17 open division works, there were 9 teams that entered. And have you ever tried writing a schedule for 9 teams?
No, and I'm happy I didn't.
It's ruddy awful, to be honest. So it's one massive round robin. Everyone plays everyone. 8 games, and then the top 2 go through to the final. In that case, it's France and Italy. These two sides, as you would expect, have met before. The very first game of the tournament for both sides, back on Sunday morning, 11 o'clock, and France triumphed 10-8 over Italy on that occasion. A lot has changed for these sides since then. They'll have made some tweaks, they'll have grown as players and as a team, and it will be fascinating to see if this game follows the same script as that one.
I would love to see such a tight game as we have seen just now in the other division. I would love a tighter score, but you know, I can wish for it. I'm sure both teams will fight for it, and that it'll just be a great game. So many people have gathered around here to see, to watch, to bear witness of this great final in the under-17 division. But it's not even the last one today, Benji.
No, we do have the under-20 mixed final that has been moved to today, this evening, under the lights. It's part of a 4-final Friday because of inclement weather forecast tomorrow afternoon. But this is the last of the European Youth Ultimate Championship portion of JJUC, the under-17 Open final. France undefeated on the week up against Italy, who suffered just the one loss in that first game to France and have been immaculate since then. Both sides, actually, to be honest, haven't even necessarily been pushed. None of them has won a game since that point by a margin smaller than 4, and that was Italy's 12-8 win over Germany.
That is so impressive. But I have to say, I've called one or the other game of both these sides during the week, and I was just in awe of their decision making and their positioning and their general structure on offense and defense. So I'm so looking forward to seeing this exact thing here in this final.
So, a bit of a miscommunication there with the pool as two Italian players try and sky each other and get bragging rights. Not sure about that one, but we are in action here. The wind picking up a little bit slightly, blowing towards the camera and from right to left. France zoning to begin the game. Just playing quite pensively at the start here. Oh, that one's kicked off the foot. A little bit of futsal action maybe from the Italians, but unfortunately it doesn't work out for them. Tried his best to catch it off the ricochet, but Fabrini couldn't bring it in. Early break chance for the French. Malo Godon will bring it in. Quickly gets it off the line. Negre wants to squeeze it down that channel. Back to Godon. Just a little shimmy to the inside and then takes the line. France break on the first point. They will take a 1-0 lead in this game.
What a beautiful stuff out of the French. Clinical red zone offense there. Just 3 passes needed. 2 actually. And also just 2 players involved. But that's enough for the French to score a first break. Malo Godon, his sporting hero is Brody Smith. He is out of Jouy-le-Tour. He's a high school student, obviously, because we're in the under-17s division and most of these players are still really, really young. We should look for solid handling and defensive speed, and we saw some solid handling out of him.
Yeah, just taking a sensible option, getting it off the line early. He's started because his parents both played together for 12 years. It's really interesting when you see a lot of the sporting heroes. A lot of them are these big-name American Ultimate players, and it's a lot to be said, the fact that they're constantly seeing these kind of free highlights, the reels, the TikToks, that content out there that really inspires people to take it up.
Talking about content out there.
Hashtag content.
Hashtag, yes, of course. But check out the ULTI.TV content we put out this week, because this is not some American player, some US star getting the highlights, but these players at these pitches here that have been reeling in highlight after highlight for us and for you.
Both of these teams have been featured on our Instagram reels. Cavaletti catching a Callahan earlier in the tournament, while Ilian Mondley just getting full extension, not once but twice.
I do think
for the French.
He is a highlight. Just
him.
Just him in general. His play.
Right, that was before he had a sick layout D earlier in the point. So, yeah, certainly one to watch. Fabrini, one of the key handlers for the Italians. Looking for options, just dumping off here to Casali. Trying to pop it into the front of this French zone. Exploits that seam nicely, Casali. The lefty goes to Fabrini, a little low pass, but well rescued there by Jacopo Davoli. Rossi around the outside. Again, Italy having to go to ground, but they do still maintain and secure possession. Fabrini faking the hammer, and he really pump faked that, and then ripping it through the centre. Casali trying to exploit the seams and those creases once more. A little bit of give-go in the backfield. Fabrini should probably take the reset here, and he does. Bavia miscommunicates with Rossi, and France will get another early break chance.
Bavia already talking to his counterpart here to clean out arrows, but they should play defense now as their immaculate offense has stopped and given the French another break opportunity here.
So when the margins are so tight, remember, of course, France won their first game by just 2 points. Giving up those 2 points early for Italy is certainly less than ideal.
So stoppage here on the field. And a big put goes up. players underneath it, so many, and that is a grab just in front of the end zone.
Gibert rips it down. Now, will he find an option into the end zone, or will he be patient? Reset, calling for the lead pass, hopping it into the end zone there. Axel Charrier. France break once more. They've taken a 2-0 lead here.
Olivier Gibert with the catch and just in front of the end zone does the mature thing to dump back instead of trying to reel it in himself. And France with a second break to start the game. His sporting hero is Rowan McDonnell.
Yep, again another. You're seeing again the impact from these big name players, and then Gibert, he likes to do a little bit of climbing in his spare time as well, and he really seemed to shimmy up high there, bringing that one down, and then could be easy to be flustered here, but after a while he thinks, you know what, I'll just look around, see if I can find an easier option, and swings it across to Axel Charrier out of Angers. Magic disc of the club there. And he jumps it into the end zone. France taking a 2-0 lead. Strong start here defensively for the French.
And you see Italy there getting fired up by their coach. I've actually met that coach just a few hours ago at the coffee cart talking to him, and he's like, this time I think we will win. You know, they were in the final 3 years ago against the same nation, France.
Obviously the players and personnel are different.
One player from the Italian side, Olivieri, was part of that Italian team. And it is really impressive to me because I pointed out that Olivieri is one of the best players, maybe the best person to watch on this Italian team, because he is just an impeccable athlete and has such good decision making as well as just skill in that at that very young age. And he pointed out that players like Olivieri and other playmakers have been rested a bit more, and their depth has gotten better over the years, making it easier for the team to be distributed, the roles to be distributed even more evenly for the team.
Yeah, I know what you mean. They don't want trying to rely a bit less maybe on the big names and trust that they can get contributions up and down the roster in case someone gets injured or is unavailable. Maybe, you know, you get the top defender on them, and you want someone else to step up and take that lead role. Interesting to hear already the level of thought going into the various coaching at this level.
Well, if you have the basics and the skill level from the juniors, you as a coach also have to step up and really work for it.
So Italy again trying to find a way to get that first point on the board, and again the French coming down with the zone that has turned the Italians a couple of times. Bavia, we've seen this before, screaming for the disc in the center of the field, but France have now picked that up.
Bavia is someone who is very much looking for a disc always.
And he's not afraid to be vocal when he thinks he's got the little bit of space. All that blade clearly came out wonky out of Rose's hands.
Had that fake, just I hope it was intended to be a fake, just releasing that disc instead of...
Oh yeah, that's certainly not what he intended. France won't mind. Negre just rips an inside flick. Bid comes in on the far side.
And he gets it as well.
Not a chance! Unbelievable! I thought for sure that was going to be a turnover. Negre doesn't care about getting lucky the first time because he rips the inside flick again. It floats, but France bring it down for 3-0. This time it's Donard rescuing into the back of the end zone. I need to see that layout again, however. How France kept this up, I don't know. That's a Houdini act of escapology.
A massive play out of the French side, and I remember praising their decision making. I want to take that back, really.
Oh, he goes with the trailing edge, but snags it supremely, superbly. A Leviathan layout coming out of Ancelin Letailleur.
And then an inside shot that is so high and gets caught by the wind, and then...
Yeah, Donar is waiting at the back of the end zone. I think he should have left it for Latailleur after that initial layout. But France all over the Italians here, and I think quite understandably. I thought the Italians had called a timeout, but maybe not. I think they're just huddling up after every point, trying to impart as much information as possible.
That's good, but you know my professional coaching opinion. I'm kidding, but I would have probably would like to see that timeout. If I'm a 3-0 down, I would believe that, you know, recouping, getting that timeout in, and you know, getting your players into the right mindset would be a good idea. On the other hand, nobody has ever paid me to coach a team, so.
I mean, but you look at something like that last turnover is a bit of a freak occurrence, in all honesty. So maybe, what advice can you give? Don't have a fake accidentally slip out of your hand. I mean.
Well, yeah, but maybe fight harder in offense. Also, just like stay in here. Don't give up.
Gelli catching that blade over the top. They've rotated some players through. Fabbrini wants to go across the field, catching this, and not in bounds. The Italians. Olivieri, we know what he can do, but that time just asked too much of him.
Did you see that jump? It was impressive.
But again, just floated and just sailed a little bit beyond him. France looking good, looking for another break. Charrier caught the second goal for the French. Has it back in his hands now. French all wearing these bright white hats going down the line. Not quite in the end zone is Perez. Has a little peek in the backfield, goes down the line, laying out and towing it in. Thomas Calando makes it 4-0 France. If Italy don't call the timeout here, I would be shocked, because France at the moment have smothered them.
They have. They are definitely the better outfit for coming into this game. Their energy high. But on the other hand, the Italians we haven't really seen them 100%. We've seen little lacks of concentration, but nothing super forced by the French side yet.
See again, Charrier to Perez down the line. Just has a little bit of a peek in the backfield after he fakes that scuba, and then quickly gets a little pivot out. Calando makes the catch, and you can see there as he comes up, the disc gets a little bit warped on the landing, and actually Erwan Paré came in front of us to try and get a replacement.
And there's still no timeout called, I believe, by the Italians, but just waiting to get that first goal in.
At what point does it become too late to call it? And you know, that idea of shutting the stable door after the horse has bolted.
Well, I think it definitely is a lot about energy, and especially in this juniors division and under 17 division. And they just have to find that energy a bit better.
So this time Italy want to shoot deep, try and take advantage of the French maybe napping, but that is flat and low and lasered too far out of reach. Another break chance for the Italians. Or for the French, I should say. And so far, they've been a perfect 4 for 4 on break chances.
They have done a very good job for sure, but this is just another opportunity for Italy to show themselves, what they can do and prove themselves. Big zone goes up and a flick to the near side here, just around our commentary booth.
Paré zips it in the backfield to Pechard. That one was ripped deep, but only, or at least that was the plan, Alessandro Pericoli's hand got in the way. It took a big deflection out of the far sideline.
What a block there from the Italian side. This is exactly what they needed. A big play on defense.
They can't do anything with it. Again, they'll give the disc back to France. Again, just starting a little bit slower in the backfield after that huck was defended. It would not surprise me to see the French shelve it for a while. Mandley wants it in the that little space in the centre. French not going to go there just yet.
It doesn't seem like quite a lot of hander set, pressure on the hander set here. As I say it, they of course are pushed back into their own end zone.
Yeah, the composure that we've seen from the French, they don't necessarily seem to mind this. Pare getting into a high stall, goes for the offhand, backhand. Olivieri rose, ascended.
Nearly jumped over the guy.
But somehow it still fell in Monley's lap.
Nothing seems to go right for the Italians here.
Still count rising. Force gets suckered in a little bit backwards. Give go back in Monley's hands. Wants to get it through. Instead, resetting. Now they've got a little bit of field position. Worked it beyond halfway here. Here's an expansive shot deep from Gaudon. He said solid handling. I don't know if that qualifies as solid. Italy get it back. Olivieri in the backfield, in the end zone. French zone trying to get set. The Italians seem to have had such problems with this so far. But they are at least able to earn their turns back now. Fabrini pump fakes it deep. Oh my word, went for the push pass there. I mean, I love a push pass. That's not when I'd have used it. This one, Pare.
Foul called as both players were battling for the same position just on the brick mark. Olivieri with this huge shot.
I wonder if Laffy feels that Pare was backing into him there. I think Pare is saying, I was in this space, I was just holding it. But who's the deep receiver? Maybe Alberto Laffy? Thinking, no. It wasn't just you defending a position. It was initiating contact by backing in. And the two of them agree to disagree, and they'll send it back.
I love that feature. Part of the rules, of course, that if you have two different positions and opinions, you can always send the disc back and replay the situation. And I feel, from my, experience at looking at Frisbee, that often the play expands the way it should have been in the first place.
So Italy, with that deep shot not working out, even if it was a foul, it still wasn't the best shot. So this time they just want to be more methodical with it. Laffy tries to drag the defender deep, and the shot does go up again to Laffy. Pare. Oh, what a rip from Alberto Laffy. Skies the skin out of it. Erwan Pare flips to Fabrini. What a way to get your first point on the board. That is all about that catch from Alberto Laffy. He posterized that guy. Put a picture of that on my wall.
I know you said the decision wasn't the best, but if you have a receiver like Alberto Laffy in that space, I would back him 100%. Maybe 80%, 80 to 20%, And that's good enough for me. If I need a highlight play, go Olivieri to Laffy. That works out. So many times we've seen that before. Shout out to his brother.
What a grab that is. Because Pare's no slouch as a deep defender, but he got roofed.
He did. There you go. One more shot of that impressive deep shot here, and Laffy.
It's not just that he catches it, it's the way he grabs it and then rips it down.
It's always his discs. So, as I wanted to say before, shout out to his brother Arturo Laffi, who is a rather well-known name in the European community.
Yeah, it rings a bell.
Playing for Kuzblafota, he really pushed for his brother to be a Frisbee player rather than a tennis player. Apparently he was good at tennis at once, but now it's all the Frisbee for him, and there's a reason for it. He's really, really good at it.
Just seeing the risk there of that French zone, and that if you can get those swings quickly, as the Italians did there, Olivieri had no mark, and if you've got a player like Olivieri with no mark, watch out. So the French, would you believe this, receiving for the first time this game, and we've already had 20 minutes and 5 points. Such has been the hot start that they've raced out to.
Italy in their zone setup. Not a lot of options for the French, not really connecting with their downfield cutters yet, as they're happy to throw it in the handler set.
Yeah, just being patient with it, taking some over the top throws, but there's nothing too outrageous. Not yet, anyway.
Oh, we're waiting for it. It will happen, I'm pretty sure.
Voila. Just taking the reset back to Caligaro. Perez. Headband keeping that mop of hair behind his head and out of his face. Here's the ponytail Gibert. We know that he can certainly elevate deep as well, but this time he's back in the handler set. Pashi working it around the back solidly, consistently. Charrier fakes. Oh, just about squeezes that one through or not. Uncontested strip, or accepted, I should say. A little change in the verbiage there. Error.
Yeah, good eyes from Error. Good movement, but not quite able to get that block cleanly.
Yeah, and very quickly, spiritedly agrees that, yeah, Wu, you had that cleanly. So France, not quite at midfield just yet, but not far away, finding a little scything shot through the middle to Pashi. Perez. Oh, I thought he wanted Charrier there. Certainly, he must have considered it. Wu squeezes it past the bidding Error.
So close, but comes up empty.
Just outside the end zone now. It'll flip there, that one to Wu. Wu into the end zone. The France offense takes the field for the first time, and they were faultless.
See, I might have just shouted out the wrong line of the French, the D line. Being a bit more risky, but the O-line having the contenance, the chill, one would say, to work through that zone, work that disc down the field. No stress whatsoever for the French side, although the Italians flew all over the place to try and prevent that goal from happening.
Yeah, you see there that they're certainly not limited in their throwing options. We saw, faking the overheads. We saw the offhands. But they just look so assured with their choice of option.
Yeah, I agree. And we'll see now how Italy's O-line will respond to the mounting pressure. The score currently at 5-1. They have such a mountain to climb here, Italy, but I'm sure they are not out of this game yet. Not by far, anyway.
The journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. Unless, of course, you get in a car or get the train or something. But that doesn't work for the analogy.
Nope. Not when you're on a Frisbee field. Getting on a car would not be beneficial.
Right, but is there anything that actually forbids it in the rules?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, fair enough.
They thought about everything when writing the rules.
Montley with those white tights gets ready to pull. Fast-paced first half so far. 5-1 to the French. This one is high. I think the wind has its sights set on this, but the edge just keeps it back in bounds. Not a lot of field position, but it hangs for a while, and that will allow the French defense to get into position. At the very least, if he starts at half field, maybe reduces the capacity for those deep shots. Or maybe he just didn't get it as far as he wanted. Olivieri. Nice gainer underneath to the mulleted Gerli. Bavia finds the thread through the middle of the field. Fabrini into the end zone for the score is Nicolo Pivi. Italy look like they might have figured something out here, and they found themselves a little bit. 5-2.
There we go. Clean offensive hold for the Italians and the French, respectively. This is what I wanted to see, and this is what I expected from the start of the game. So much pressure on defense, but both sides showing their throwing prowess to get those clean holds on their offensive sides.
That's a lovely little shot through the field. Bit of inside-out shape on it. And then again, that crease exposes itself once more. Fabrini on the receiving end this time and finds PV in the end zone. First clean hold that for the Italians. The quality of these two sides on show really doesn't feel like an under-17s game.
No, it doesn't. And I'm glad it doesn't. Because age really doesn't matter, especially when playing Frisbee. You can play it when you're old, and you can obviously play it when you're still young.
Yeah, I've been at both World Masters Club Championships in Limerick, and this year, and of course here at JJUC, and I think it just goes to show that it doesn't matter how old you are, you can still produce some top quality ultimate.
Olivieri with the pole, pulling triple duties now, has been on the field for quite some time, and this pole also floating a lot, but with far better field position for the Italians.
But as you mentioned, of course, Olivieri and some of the other Italian stars have been getting a bit more rest in some recent games, probably, so they're at their freshest and they can handle a heavier workload here today.
A call on the field?
Couldn't quite see what the hand signal was initially.
Me neither, but the two players seem to talk it out calmly.
It's Olivieri and Perez, two players engaged in discussion. As you mentioned, obviously always want to come home with a gold medal, but might mean a little bit more to Olivieri, who came up with the silver medal in EYUC here in 2019 against who else but the French.
Discussion on the field taking a bit longer. But in my personal opinion, that's fine as long as players talk to each other with respect, which we are definitely seeing here.
Those of you keeping eyes on the Under-20 Open bronze medal match will be intrigued to know that the score there at the moment is Canada 5, Italy 7.
7. Interesting. Canada have had a bit of a rocky start to the day, losing, of course, in the...
This one is floated by the French and knocked down. Cavalletti making himself as big as possible and getting in the way. Italy with a chance to get their first break.
Dropping that disc to the ground.
Ara just testing the wind. Looking for a lead pass here to Olivieri. Rises easy. And then it's going to shoot this inside-out forehand. It's going to invite traffic. And Cavalletti can't get the bookends.
That was such a beautiful put there, but too many bodies underneath it,
I will
stopping
say,
each other from catching it.
Aesthetically, it looked great, but probably didn't come off as he intended. That one's overthrown, and Piludo brings it down for Italy. Another chance for another break, or I should say, for the first break.
another break of the game.
Olivieri finds Cecchini. That one again, just floating it. Olivieri with that easy athleticism. Wants to get an option right in the front of the end zone. Two players scuttling back and forth. The swing goes off to Errar instead. Going to ground, but saving it. Cecchini. It's going back to Errar. Those orange boots into the end zone. He finds Francesco Cecchini. The Italians have got the break and they are pulling this game ever closer. That will be 5-3.
And that right there was beautiful red zone offense shown by the Italian side. They were so calm. Of course, they had to go to the ground to collect those discs once or twice, but in the end, without like putting it into a place where so many bodies underneath it, and it would be a struggle to catch. They waited for the perfect option, the perfect cut to develop and put it in with ease.
So Italy, after the rockiest of starts, found their feet offensively, and now they've been able to get a break on the board as well. Just over half an hour gone in this game. All games this week played to 15, as opposed to the 100-minute time cap in the under-20 divisions, 80 minutes in the under-17s, with a half-time time cap at 40 minutes.
Or 8 points, of course.
Yes, of course, yeah.
Whatever happens first. As we see the French ready to go here. And Italy just as ready to pull, maybe just talking about their defensive positioning a bit before Olivieri is gonna put up another pull. Another big one, I want to say. What a great pull.
Yeah, the edge might take this out of the far sideline. It does indeed. And Perez signals that he will bring it in from the brick mark. The wiry Perez just pads his way forward. Charrier wants the reset. He was being poached off, so Perez doesn't hesitate to give it to him. Pick downfield. Still coming in from 6.
It's really high already.
But that'll reset it. Going back to Perez, pumped it and got the defender biting. And Olivieri commits on the mark as well. Negra underneath, wanting the give go with Pare, instead goes centrally. Running the give go instead with Falor. Resets to Perez in the backfield. Le Tailleur, who had that super possession-saving layout earlier. Flame-haired Charrier, although you can't see it under that hat. To Le Tailleur.
You can see his very light complexion, and that is a goal for France.
Yeah, the inside flick. Charrier signaled that he wanted it, and he was sitting and he was waiting for it. And who else to catch it but Erwan Pare. 6-3 to France. Pare is a really interesting case.
Is he? Tell me more.
He's kind of based in France when he's not also in China.
Oh, what a good mixture.
Right? Won his first China Open with his club there, Storm, at 13 years old, apparently the youngest player ever. 2021 received the Ultimate Tomorrow Star Award from the Cantonese Association, and actually lives in China but came to join the French team despite troubles with COVID restrictions, and apparently there's going to be a lot of Chinese support from at his back, and in the future he wants to become a movie director and make an ultimate movie.
Wow, that's ambitious. I love the idea though. And thank you for everyone from China actually watching us.
Yeah, whether you're in France, whether you're one of Pare's Chinese contingent tuning in, whether you're in Italy, anywhere in the world, it is a pleasure to have you here on ULTI.TV's YouTube channel for this under-17 Open final from the European Youth Ultimate Championships here at JJUC in Wrocław, Poland. Just seeing on the sideline, Novelli has TA saved into the back of his head.
I think he actually has ITA, the shortage for.
Oh yeah, the eye. Yeah, he's turned his head. I can see the eye now. I mean, in terms of, we've seen a lot of teams go for kind of coordinated haircuts.
You know, I think actually that the Italians have cut mullets rather recently. I don't think they had it throughout this week, did they?
There are some of them, and I must admit I don't recognise, or didn't recognise. Oh, that one just goes to the turf. Fabrini says that he was bumped, and that's why. Noah Peshard is the mark, and it is now checked in. Fabrini thought about leading Davoli into space with that backhand, but he resets instead. And now Davoli over the top. That is spice in the extreme. Mondley tried to get there and defend it. Giorgio Bavia thinks that he had it cleanly, and it was knocked free.
We're going to have a discussion about that. It did seem like a bit of body contact, whether he had possession of the disc.
I'm not sure it's body contact as much. So I think it's just whether he'd established possession with the disc.
Maybe he did get him cleanly. On a closer look, I do have to agree with you, yeah. He seems to only get the disc, but maybe he had it in his grab already. It was just pushed out.
So, after a little bit of discussion, a contested foul is the result. It'll go back to Davoli. If he had maybe a flair for the dramatic, he might put that again. Somehow, I suspect he'll holster it.
I did hear the coach on the sideline saying, hey, you had an open player. And he did have an open player just in front of him. He just wanted to have his highlight. Goes to Festa, the open receiver I was talking about.
Yeah, Festa, one of the Rimini contingent. I assume related to Festa, number 72 for the Italian under-17 women's side that just took home the gold medal. Interesting that they're both wearing the same number. Well, the first time we've actually seen that at this tournament. Trying to squeeze that one through. Gelli dumps it off to Fabrini. A really expressive fake, and he zipped that, a little bit of air bounce underneath the mark.
I love that shot. I want to learn that.
Yeah, it doesn't matter that we are significantly older than all of these players. They can still teach us a thing or two. Oh, was that one down?
I don't think it was. That's just my personal opinion, and I didn't see it clearly. So let's rather look at the replay than me expressing stuff.
Ooh.
Okay, I can't say.
Yeah, it's one of those where sometimes you look at it and it's like, well, this is clear. Not such on this occasion. I would try and embarrass myself by saying hello in Chinese, but I know that my pronunciation of it will be terrible, so I won't bother. But hello, good to see that he's got his friends tuning in.
See that again here, and it's so hard to say.
You know it's tight when everyone looks at the screen and it's like, we'll still send it back. Certainly made it harder than it needed to be, a little bit of a flutterer. I think the fact that maybe didn't have as much rotation as intended. Maybe it's fluttering side to side a little bit. Who knows? Either way, they sent it back.
I think that is the right outcome in this situation. And Italy off to the races in their red zone.
Festa, back to Fabrini. Swinging in across. Davoli. Italy just staying patient at the moment. And as I say that, Fabrini rips the hammer into the end zone, right on the spot for Giorgio Bavia. That'll make it 6-4. They waited, they picked their moment, and they took it with merciless precision.
It was style as well. You know, I love that shot. It is safe if you can execute the hammer like this every time. And I do believe that this Italian contingent can execute a hammer like that every single time when they get close to an end zone. I'm very impressed. Look at that shot over here. And then the huge hammer that sails in a perfect curve into the end zone to the tall figure of Bavia.
Interestingly, he's faked that hammer a lot when he's gone to mark, but maybe it was the fact that there wasn't one this time that encouraged him to put that throw up without any pressure.
The thing is, I can fake that as many times as I want if I never throw it. Now that he's thrown it once and he's proven himself, they'll have to take that fake all the more serious in the future.
It's no longer, oh, he's showing the overhead, but it's fine. We've not actually seen him throw it. Now it's, oh, he's thrown it, and he's thrown it well. By the way, Italy took half on Canada in the under-20 open bronze medal match, 8-5.
Exciting. I talked to someone supporting Canada today, and I asked them how bad it hurt that France and not Canada would be in the gold medal game. And they answered to me that, hey, doesn't matter. I don't know what's better, winning bronze or losing silver. You know, because when you're losing the game and getting
it's always
silver,
nice to end the tournament with a win, yeah.
Of course, but it seems like Canada doesn't even get that.
Yeah, if you don't win, if you don't win the bronze medal,
you don't get a bronze medal.
I think I know which one you'd rather have.
Yeah, I do. I do too.
Olivieri generates the torque through the trunk. Paul, he's caught by Perez on France's end zone line. Charrier with the disc. Italians looking like a 3-3-1 zone. Eraz patrolling the front of that diamond downfield.
Love the scuba.
And France generally have looked extremely unflustered by zones, but they have, on occasion, lost their composure. You can hear the buzz in the atmosphere here around the grounds.
Got very close there on that swing.
Oh, that was definitely batted by Cecchini. And now they've got past it. They want to get off to the races, attack with some speed. France apply the brakes. Just past the bidding defender. Again, as soon as they commit and they're out of position, France pick the pace up a little bit, like a conductor, orchestrating the tempo. Oh, just a drop from Perez. Well.
Uncharacteristic arrow there from the so stable French side. Gives the disc back to Italy to close this game. Let's get this game closer, rather.
And it would make it 6-5. And that would be 7:30 when we got there. Assuming that they score, of course, which is no sure thing. Benzi. Olivieri on the far sideline. Resets to Errar in the backfield. Errar now gets the disc up the line. Sees an option in the end zone. Crazy athleticism.
Pushed that in a bit too early, too quickly, I wanted to say.
And you can see Cecchini bang the ground in frustration that he couldn't quite get there.
That is a bit of a missed opportunity from the Italian side. They'd have to work all the harder on defense to get it back once again.
But they are generating turns. They are creating opportunities for themselves. Perez. They just checked in, going to Charrier in the backfield. And Callahan call from the sideline. You think, I wonder if they know better, but they
do know better.
As we know, they yeah, sometimes they know better than we do. Charrier all squeezing this one down the sideline. Woo, what a bid.
It's a rollover.
Yeah, you can see as well there was a defender not far away, but wisely pulled out because Woo had already taken off. That scuba not high over, but zipped through. Calling for kind of a bit more help close. Sounds like we might be getting a transition here from Italy. Maybe not. Just being exceedingly vocal.
As the Italians often are. One of their signatures.
Exceptionally communicative. Brilliant layout from Benzi. Low, quick. He had to react to that one so speedily.
Olivieri to pick up for the Italians.
Pericoli back to Olivieri. Pericoli again. Those two just playing it between themselves at the moment. Now Erraz getting involved. Running the dominator between those three. A little bit of weaving.
Bobble but caught by Era.
You know the pattern. Can you stop it? Era getting it again. Towards the end zone. Italy will get another break back. It is Pericoli with the score. They're just one down now, 6-5. We will have half at 7 in this game.
This is a real nail-biter, and France with a great start, but Italy climbing back in slowly but steadily, getting the better of the French again and again. And we see a timeout on the field. The France coaching staff opting to get a breather in, talk to their players, and figure out a way to get out of that break hole.
That's the bid from Wu. Italian defender. All they can do is look at it and just back away. Like, fair enough. And amazingly, given all the action we've had, I think this is our first time out of this first half. Gives us a much needed opportunity to get our breath back. I'm sure the players on field will do the same. Don't go anywhere, because the conclusion to this thrilling first half will continue on the other side.
The ultimate things in life are free, and we're keeping it that way. Subscribe to keep up with the latest games, tournaments, and community content. Share it with your team and friends, and drop a like to help spread Ultimate to more people. Spread the word, spread the love. ULTI.TV.
We are a group of Ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, ULTI.TV, the best in the world.
Become a member and
fund our
work
to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
Always on the move? You can keep up to date with ULTI.TV on all of our social media channels. Like, follow, subscribe, share us with a friend, or send us a message just to say hey. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to grow Ultimate everywhere.
You see it there. Make sure to follow ULTI.TV on all the socials to keep up to date with what we're doing, which Ultimate we're streaming, and seeing some absolutely bonkers highlights like we've seen this week here in Wrocław, Poland. The Joint Juniors Ultimate Championships, a collaboration between the World Juniors Ultimate Championships, that's under 20s, and the European Youth Ultimate Championships, that is under 17s, and with the mixed and women's under 17 finals already in the book. Under-17 Open is all that is left, and it is currently France 6, Italy 5. France raced out to a 4-0 lead in this game, but Italy have fired back. We're going to have half at 7, by the way.
As the time cap has gone on, and we are nearly 50 minutes in this 80-minute game. Games are played, as I just said, to 80 minutes or 15 points in the under-17 division, taking 20 minutes off the playing time.
But we're not getting a half-time cap due to a lack of quality. Anything but. It's just the intensity, the pressure you can see from these sides. France working their way through the front line of the Italian zone, but it gets reset. Benzi, who's let out block, and the turn, the previous point, goes for another one there, but this time comes up without any luck. Zipping it in, Palais. Going in the backfield, Charrier. Charrier turns back to Perez. And they continue to take the swings. Oh, that one just thunks off the chest of Gaston Fayot.
He was already so safe with the disc in his hands. Maybe thought about throwing it on. And now Italy taking the time out here to cook up something spicy on offense.
With the hot weather we've had this week in Wrocław, not an inapt metaphor, certainly. It has been baking here today. I would regret wearing a shirt were it not finals day, and obviously got to smarten up a little bit.
You look dashing, Andy.
Stop. No, you're in danger of forcing camera 2 to go into commentary cam, which we absolutely do not need.
Oh no, that's okay. We don't need that.
I'm seeing some of the highlights from what has been a scintillating first half here. Big plays made from both sides, on offense, on defense, with the bids, with the throws. It's been so much fun.
It definitely has, and it's not over yet.
No, Italy, if they could punch in the break coming in off the timeout, we'd get ourselves a cheeky little galaxy point to throw into the bargain as well.
If you're not familiar with Ultimate Frisbee language just as much as we are, Galaxy Point being the little brother or little sister of Universe Point, where as the time cap, point cap, of course, is at 15, you have both teams at 14 points. You play for
next goal wins,
Universe
sudden
Point.
death. And Galaxy Point is like that, just kind of smaller. It's Universe Point, but for half rather than for the game. That hammer ripped up wind by Fabrini. Yeah, Galaxy Point is a Steph Rapazzo special.
You know what else he does?
Steph
Rapazzo.
Steph Rapazzo. Apart from being a really good chef?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Oh, I thought
another specialty.
I thought you were
not only cooking up spicy Frisbee vocabulary,
but some spicy food as well.
Oh yeah, he has an Italian cookbook.
Nice.
His mother is actually Italian,
as you might guess with the name. And yeah, he's also been seen coaching in France with Isnogood.
Oh, so he's got, well, a bit of conflict of interest, maybe? I wonder who he's rooting for in this match.
I mean, here in the booth, I can tell you who we're rooting for.
Universe Point?
Yeah, just good, tight Frisbee.
So we win, regardless.
It's nice when that happens. Olivier is going to bring it in off the timeout. France getting their defense set up. Italy wanted to go with a 3-4 horizontal look. France just poaching off that slightly. See if they get some brackets set up. Maybe they're baiting the expansive swing. Thought the reset there could have gone to Davoli, but he looked away from the thrower. Fabrini, well, we saw the highlight of that hammer. He thought about it again.
I would have loved to see it again.
Just shelved it over the top to Davoli.
That's okay. Also a highlight.
Here's Pericoli. Less exciting maybe, but no less valuable. Olivieri. Back to Fabrini. Just teasing the inside there. Pericoli goes across to Davoli. You can see they want these give-go moves. Rolls that one across to Olivieri. Pericoli comes through and fumbles and drops.
Such a solid offensive set there. But France will collect the fruit of that zone defense.
And you can see Negro picks up and he sees the free man behind him and immediately bounces it off him to get the disc back. Oh, that was, I'll be honest, not particularly aesthetically pleasing scuba, and Italy made him pay for it. I'll stop shy of ugly, but it wasn't great. Here's Bavia. Another one who's rocking that mullet. I say rocking it. Using the mullet. Oh, cheeky from Fabrini. Leading Benzine to a little bit of space. Fabrini surveys his options. Likes Olivieri as the reset. Olivieri wants that give-go down the line. Just about threads the needle. Davoli. Back to Benzi. Fabrini to Olivieri. Benzi. Fabrini has it. Italy just playing it calmly at the back at the moment, but there's not really any penetration to their offense at the moment. That's a nice way to maybe get some little leading passes through. 1-2, 1-2 on the end zone line. Davoli going back to Fabrini. Can he find an option? Will the French defense clamp down? Will it be bend but don't break? Fabrini. Benzi. Olivieri. Fabrini loses his footing but picks himself back up again. He's got the reset available. Takes it. The French staying in their set all the way down the field. Davoli thought he was going to try that little one through.
I would have loved to see that.
Olivieri. Fabrini. Not quite in the end zone just yet. We know he's got a big box of tricks at his disposal. Will he choose to use it? No, he's going back to Olivieri instead.
They're so patient, looking for an option, but if this isn't 100%, they're not taking it.
Oh, that's not a great bid. Came in late on the back shoulder. Could have been dangerous. Thankfully, everyone was fine. Olivieri into the end zone for Pericoli. We've got ourselves a Galaxy point at 6s.
What an amazing offensive hold there from Italy. This time around being super patient, valuing the disc. They don't care if they had to throw 100,000 passes, just getting it through. And we see the replay here once again. Expensive inside shots, and finally Olivieri finds someone. But I have to say, the star of this point, or this possession specifically, for me, was Federico Fabrini, who was so calm and in the right moments chose the give-go to move the disc to the other side of the pitch, but also was calm and collected and weighted his options very, very well when that was asked of him.
According to the official scorers, the volunteers who keep every tournament running, and again we thank them for giving up their time, that point took over 11 minutes.
Wow, that's a long point.
But France did take a timeout before the point started, and Italy took one during the point as well.
So that is 2 minutes, which still makes 9 minutes of playing time.
Minus, of course, the time in between the points when they haven't pulled. But yes, you see what I mean? It's still a long point, and as such, we still haven't reached half yet, about an hour through this game.
So there's this man in Bologna, Davide Mori, and
I've heard of him.
Oh, have you? Good. That just really doesn't have the story. Anyway, he said that a successful point lasts about a minute maximum. After that, it's just off to the races. You know, anyone can get it.
Yeah.
I wonder what he says about points that take 8 minutes or longer.
At that point, it's not about being clean, it's just about getting the job done. And so often those long marathon points can be a big momentum changer for whoever puts them in.
Galaxy point on our way here.
So France rotating some players through after that marathon point. Paré dumping off to Charrier. Gibert. Back to Boileau. Boileau finds Paré, and Paré goes to Charrier in the backfield. Cheeky little blade over the top to Paré. You can see he's got that support on his left knee. Only slightly concerning at youth level. Hammer over the top. Oh, receiver got too far underneath it, and Boileau could only pop it up. In the centre, looking for some give-go. Cecchini on the far side. Cavalletti. Here's Erra. Erra looking to the end zone. Italy break on Galaxy Point. They lead for the first time in this game, and we are finally back on serve. Italy 7, France 6 at half-time.
Italy have found their momentum and their energy and their setup late in this game, but it's all the more effective coming down from 4 breaks to 0 points in the beginning of the half.
I mean, what a comeback already in this first half. They were 4-0 down, and they punch it in there to Ricardo Peludo to make it half. And what a half it was as well. Back and forth. I have no idea which way this second half is going to go.
We'll find it out.
Yeah, I don't think France have realised that it's half-time, because they're getting ready to go again.
Italy is up as well, I believe.
Yeah, I don't think the message has got through.
Now they figure it out.
We think it should be half-time. I think the volunteers think it should as well, but they just need to get the attention of those on field.
But the Italians already know now. They do believe us, I think.
Clearly a communication breakdown somewhere in there.
So we're seeing some highlights of the game.
And I think the message has indeed got through. Or maybe not.
Coaches are discussing with one another.
I mean, I don't think there is much to discuss. According to the rules, it should absolutely be half.
Italian players are leaving the field.
At this point, I must admit, this is partly on the coaches who should be tracking this sort of thing. It shouldn't be a surprise that we've been playing with these rules all week. If you kind of weren't ready and expecting it, I think that's on you.
While I do agree with you 100%, we've talked about those teams both winning all their matchups quite with a big margin. So while most of them have gotten to 8 quickly, they might have never played to a timed half.
Well, I can tell you that they have, because in the first meeting between these two sides, this might sound familiar. France was 6-5 up, and then Italy took half 7-6.
Interesting.
So,
but France won the game in the end.
France did win the game, took the second half on a 4-1 run.
So the coaches finally have agreed that it will be half-time for both of those teams.
Yeah, so while both sides get the opportunity to make some half-time adjustments, we will do the same here for our crew as well. Italy 7, France 6 is your half-time score in the Under-17 Open Final. Don't you dare go anywhere, because the second half, the final half of the Under-17 European Youth Ultimate Championship continues on the other side.
The ultimate things in life are free, and we're keeping it that way. Subscribe to keep up with the latest games, tournaments, and community content. Share it with your team and friends, and drop a like to help spread Ultimate to more people. Spread the word, spread the love. ULTI.TV.
We are a group of Ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch,
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, ULTI.TV, the best in the world.
Become a member and
fund
fund
our
our
work
work.
to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
Always on the move? You can keep up to date with ULTI.TV on all of our social media channels. Like, follow, subscribe, share us with a friend, or send us a message just to say hey. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to grow Ultimate everywhere.
Right now, he's gonna have to bid. Just a
Football! Huge layout block. Unbelievable stuff on the front corner of the end zone.
Maybe just that boost of energy they needed. Huge swing pass and a great grab there from Spear.
Welcome back to ULTI.TV's coverage of the Joint Juniors Ultimate Championships. We have under-17s action from the European Youth Ultimate Championships, the last game of that section of the tournament. It is the under-17 Open Final. Italy coming back from 4-0 down to take half 7-6 on France. Benjamin Rees alongside Christina Obermeier as France begin this second half on offense. Can they compose themselves after surrendering that hasty lead?
Well, they'll have to if they want to stay in this final, but I'm sure the mental strength of both teams will shine in this last half of Ultimate they're going to get at this tournament.
With the exception of their first game of the tournament when these two sides played each other, and France went out 10-8 victors, neither side has really been tested that much. Brilliant lane on the far sideline. The French maintain possession. Trying to swing back and forth. Popped into the backfield for Perez. As Italian zone really hemming them in. Now they find the deep shot. This might get a little bit of float and hang. Laffy wants to patrol deep and he will knock it to the floor. Had position on it well. I think he's having a little bit of discussion as well with Calando, who was the intended target, about some contact underneath, but Laffy read it well. Italy with a chance to go slightly further in front. This is the first time they've led all game. Erra will pick up for Italy's D-line. Leading pass too far out in front. France get it back immediately. Wanting to reset, no, instead going upfield to Perez. Here's Negro. Maybe saw the over the top. Instead, just going to dart one into Perez. Negro again. Thinks about rolling it around. Oh, Erra got a big old bite out of that one. Fortunately for him, they just didn't go. he was fully convinced by the fake. Negro right on this sideline now. Trying to find room to work with, going back to Perez, faking the swing. Wouldn't surprise me if they just... Oh no, that is a break off to Charrier. Charrier with a little blade over the top. Leaning Fayor into a little bit of space. Fayor into the end zone. France tie us up at sevens. They didn't get a clean hold, but they did at least make it count in the end.
They did, and they did that so well. There were some highlight plays. Oh.
That celebration. We've seen some quality celebrations this week. That's another one to add into the reel.
Indeed. If you want to check out some of our reels, find us at ULTI.TV. What a grab there.
There was the overthrow. Might still have had a chance to be rescued if Negro wasn't ready and waiting. This blade from Charrier to Fayor downfield, opened up the space, and then it was just a simple pop into the end zone for the score. Under 10 minutes left in this game. And just like the first encounter between these two sides, it looks like it is going to be tight all the way. The first two finals today weren't necessarily that close on the scoreboard, although they produced their fair share of highlights for both sides. As you see, Charrier punched the disc in the air in celebration. This one is neck and neck all the way. It's exactly what you want from a final.
Indeed it is. And I'm so happy that game turned out to be as close as it is. I have to be honest, I lost doubt. I doubted. I lost faith in the Italians for a bit there. But in the end, they have delivered so far.
And you could tell they were too good to be down for too long. Match defense from the French. We've seen a lot of zone from them, but Negre tried to flash into that lane. They found the to Festa downfield now. Here's the shot. They're looking for Laffy. Can he bid? Oh, Berto Laffy. Mamma mia. He is shaken up on the catch, but he managed to make it stick. Laffy has been a big play machine for the Azzurri this game and comes through again with a sensational trailing edge grab.
Look at that. No respect whatsoever for his body. What an amazing grab. I can't even believe it.
You see it again. Casali gets the first throw off, and then no fear. Grip it and rip it. Laffy with the trailing edge.
That must have hurt so bad.
Chef's kiss, pinched fingers. Perfect. We think of Bavia more as a downfield option, but he has the throws when he needs to, and he made Laffy work for it. But that work must feel so sweet when you come up with the goods.
I bet it did. Everyone's celebrating. That is a clean hold for the Italians. The first one this half.
I mean, it's clean, but
no,
wasn't easy.
Don't say anymore. It's clean. That's it. No, you're of course you're right. It wasn't easy. But if you have people like Laffy, why put it up easy when you can put it up big?
Olivieri with the pull for the Italians. Both sides holding out of half. France's came with one turnover. Italy's with none. But they both count the same. Gibert. Back to Charrier, wants to blade over the top again. This time his target is Perez. And the skinny Perez leaps up to bring it down for France. Now Charrier swinging it around the back. France again just staying slightly circumspect with their offense. Taking it all in. Just knowing that their disc movement will eventually open up some spaces. Bavia, having put that monster Falafi last point, is now marauding in that deep space, trying to dissuade anything from going up, and if it does, hoping to get a hand on it. Paredes trying to drag him away, create space, or maybe get that disc if Bavia switches off. High release. Oh, this is fluttery. Perez with a really nice read and adjustment on that one, because that was awkward. France having gone all the way back to their own end zone. Blading it over the top. Nice cut coming through. Paredes takes off deep, but they're just going to play it short. Italy's defense gets back into position here. And France resume to swinging it. No, little scuba past the bidding Olivieri. And Charret did really well not to lose focus, but that one, the shot into the end zone, just rushed ever so slightly for France. They got their first turnover back this half. Can they get their second back as well, or will Italy pull slightly into the distance?
It feels very pressured and very rushed from the French side here. And the coaches on the sideline signal a timeout to be called.
So the first timeout of this second half, it will be called by the Italians, looking to break to go 9-7 up. And that will almost certainly mean that the cap will probably come on during this point. Just seeing a little bit of the replay action here. There was the scuba past the bidding Olivieri. Charret does so well to retain focus. But this one, when they were going for the goal, just a touch too much. We're going to take a little breather in the booth. Don't go anywhere. The game continues on the other side.
The ultimate things in life are free, and we're keeping it that way. Subscribe to keep up with the latest games, tournaments, and community content. Share it with your team and friends, and drop a like to help spread Ultimate to more people. Spread the word, spread the love. ULTI.TV.
We are a group of Ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, ULTI.TV, the best in the world.
Become a member and
fund
our
work
work
to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
Italy 8, France 7 here in the Under-17 Open Final of the European Youth Ultimate Championships at the Joint Juniors Ultimate Championships. There's you, by the way, seeking for an update on the Under-20 Open Bronze Medal match. Well, there has been a twist in the tale. Canada have pulled it back to 11-all.
That is crazy. And I just heard the volunteers confirming time is over. And as you have predicted, during this point, the time cap will go on. There you go. The time cap is on officially.
Yeah, so our game clock just a little bit behind the volunteers. Italy, by the way, have just pulled in front 12-11 on the other pitch.
Is spicy.
So, Italy score, and it's 9-7 game to 10, just as it was game to 10 in the first meeting between the two sides way back on Sunday morning. But that time it was France who emerged 10-8 victors, or France get the disc back and put it in, and it's 8-all, sudden death, universe point, game to 9. What a contest this is between the two titans of European Youth Ultimate at the moment.
All comes down to this. And Italy here with a break chance out of their timeout.
Remember that Italy were 4-0 down at the start of this game. Olivieri gets the upline pass. Olivieri airs it out. This one Brought down by Charrier. Paré was close as well. France will earn the disc back. And now France want to look big. Gibert is the target. Can he get there? Gibert catches for Universe.
What a grab by Gibert. Just had this disc always in his reach. Never left his eyes off of it as the Italian trailing defenders couldn't quite get there, but Gibert with an emphatic spike of his hat rather than the disc that is already gone.
It is a tale of two deep shots. The one from Olivieri for Italy hung, and credit the French defence for reading it well, getting it underneath. And then the little play towards the far sideline, gets the handler in a little bit of space. By the time the mark is on, the deep throw goes up, and Gibert gets a read on this nice and early. Goes up strongly under pressure from Giorgio Bavia. And 8-all, game to 9. This is Universe point, sudden death.
You see that replay here? What a grab there. Italy getting high and trying to get there as well, but just can't quite.
What a sensational sky from Gibert. Another timeout on the field. We're not going anywhere, don't worry. Both sides trying to get in the right headspace here, should they need to. They've also both got one timeout still left to use. You can take timeouts in the cap. So both have one at their disposal. Italy's O-line has only taken the field once in this second half, and they took it, we say cleanly. They didn't turn it over, but only thanks to a scorching layout from Alberto Laffi. I wonder how you stack these lines for Universe point here.
It's so hard to choose your plays, the right 7 to represent that team on Universe, but you have to choose, and this is the coach's stress also.
Yeah, do you put out, if you're Italy, do you put out, say, you're just best at offensive 7, but if you turn it, maybe not so good on defense? If you're France, do you put on your best defenders, but then maybe not have the security after the turn? You can see it's going to be Erwan Paré to pull. Who else is going on the line? That looks like Gibert. Not Gibert, even Calando. Gibert is on the line, though. So is Negre, Perez, Charrier. Trying to find out who that 7th player is. Ilian Mondli, who we know can be a big play machine for the Italians. Simone Era. Federico Fabrini. It looks to be Jacopo Davoli as well. Trying to see on the far side. Can see Pericoli, the number 2 for Italy. I imagine it's scary out there as well. And he's in the centre of that Italian line.
Has been big for them, and we'll see what they can do on offense as they start on Universe point.
Yeah, the mullet of Bavia is on there, and Alberto Laffi, who has answered the call on numerous occasions for Italy this tournament and this game. Olivieri starts with the disc. He wants to look deep immediately. This is blading towards the far sideline. Bavia with a clap catch just beyond the reach of Paré. Paré, can he do it? Dishes it off. Pericoli takes the timeout. They want to get exactly everything set.
This is nerve-wracking. This Italian side, a 50-50 shot at best, and what a great grab by Bavia to get that under so much pressure from the French. Olivieri getting a bit lucky on there, but really trusting his receiver.
Yeah, Paré is really not far away from it. But what he does do is he puts that outside in rolling edge on it, so the disc is going over towards that far side of the field. The idea being that he will take it over the defender. Your receiver gets a better read of it with the defender positioned on the open side. And Italy, having taken the timeout, when they come in, they will be, maybe 5-10 meters away from the gold medal if they can punch it in. But sometimes the timeout, as we've seen, can be your undoing.
It seems like nothing. Those few meters.
And maybe we've got a substitution here. It looks like Laffy is limping towards the sideline. I think that was what the Italian coaches was going over to signify, and that is a big loss. You saw him maybe come up a little bit gingerly after that layout earlier. They tried to see if he was good to go, and he gave it out. He gave it his best, but couldn't make it work. It looks like Simone Era has come on as a replacement.
It is a big loss on the one hand. On the other hand, Laffy is one of the best downfield receivers and has taken on this role for the Italian side. I'd imagine there might be a better maybe additional handler you can put on that.
I think that's why they've brought Era over, to give more security in that handling set. Obviously, you can't move before the disc is checked in off this timeout. So maybe the French can use that opportunity while the Italians look to get the disc in motion to try and clamp down. Francis 7 gets ready to go. You can see the fire in the Italian bellies. It's warming us from here on the sideline. So what will Italy look to do? Get an isolation. Just look to get the disc backwards and moving.
Looks like an isolation of Pavia just on the end zone line.
Yeah, got a big body there.
Pericoli with the disc in his hands and Olivieri right next to him.
They've got someone lurking in the back end zone as well. Clearly the look has been to spread out for the Italians. Cavalletti lurking in one corner.
We've seen the Italians before running a 3-person dominator set, just isolating single players in a lot of space, and I'm pretty sure we'll see that here as well, giving a lot of space to not a lot of people.
3 in the handling set, 3 spaced evenly across the back of the end zone. Bavia isolated at the front. And they do look to go backwards. No, Bavia tries to muscle his way up line. Italy for the gold! Avenging their silver medal defeat in the final 3 years ago. Italy's under-17 open side are the European Youth Champions.
What a game, coming back from 4-0 down and then making this pressure felt by the timeout right before this last offensive throw, even for the Italians as they punch it in right in front of the end zone. It was really easy, just that cut fake, loads of space for Bavia to get in and then beating his opponent to the line to get that last score of the under-17 tournament.
It's obvious what that defender there at the front doesn't want to do. The one thing you can't do is let him get open side. It's one thing knowing that that's what your assignment is. It's another thing trying to stop a cutter with the force and urgency of Giorgio Bavia. Agony for France, but ecstasy for Italy. Following up their gold medal in the under-17 women's final and the silver they won in the under-17 mixed final as well. So far, France in 4 finals, and they've played 2 and come out with 2 silver medals. That has to sting, but for Italy, the gold will taste so sweet. More than most, maybe, for Michael Olivieri, who was beaten by the French here 3 years ago, as Pericoli just punches that one into Bavia for the victory. What a performance from both sides for France. The first time they've been on the losing side all week, but for Italy avenging that loss in their first game of the tournament to the French. We say it so often, it's tough to beat that same team twice, and Italy proved that today. The under-17 open side being warmly applauded by the under-17 women's side for France, and it takes 2 to tango. We couldn't have had that game today without the performance of the French. They raced away to that 4-0 lead, and they made Italy really, really have to work for it. But boy, did they work for it. What a game, an instant classic in this division.
Yeah, it was a showing of power here, of junior development as well.
And 2 sides, 2 countries maybe, who have really kind of put themselves at the forefront of youth development in Europe at the moment. Italy and France, consistent medalists in European youth over the last few cycles, following that up again here and playing out another bumper final.
We're seeing here the preparation for the medal ceremony
In the background, and as well the French under-17 women circling around their under-17 open counterparts, singing in solidarity. It'll sting, but they can be so proud of what they've achieved here this week. And there are so many players on this side who you know are going to be fixtures in European and World Ultimate for years to come. And I tell you what, the under-20 final in a couple of years' time, I think that could be one to watch.
It's going to be amazing. 2 years' time, and most of these players are going to move on into the under-20 division.
Yeah, some of them will still be eligible for under-17s, but a lot of them will age up into an older bracket.
Can't wait. I really can't.
No, it's going to be certainly a sight to behold. Just seeing if we can grab someone for a post-game interview to share in the joy of victory.
See the Italians in a circle sitting there.
Just having a little post-game debrief. How good must this feel? Not just winning the gold medal, but avenging the defeat in the final in this division 3 years ago at the last EYUC. That was right here in Wrocław in Poland. And as well, avenging that loss in the first game of the tournament.
Yeah, there is a saying, you know, you never lose twice against the same team. Paid out this time for the Italian side. On the other hand, this nail biter gotta really command the French because they gave it their all.
And we have been so impressed with the French this week. Spoken on numerous occasions about not just their ability, their athleticism, but the discipline, the organisation with how they play. The Italians just seem to find another level today.
They
And
definitely did.
I think you've got to credit the French and the Italians for bringing it out of each other. A game that I thought was well-spirited as well. We had a couple of calls, but there never really seems to be any bad blood. And I think we might have secured a post-game interview with one of the men of the moment.
Probably the man of the moment. We've talked about him quite a bit.
Faked what? No, yeah.
Yeah. Rahel Toshnarova has one of the Italian coaches alongside Michael Olivieri.
Welcome to the after-game interview. Coach Fiori and, did I say that right?
Yeah.
Excellent. And Mike Olivieri is the new European champion with Team Italy for under-17. What do you have to say about this final?
I'm very happy because I got this revenge to 2019 with my same coach and my new friends. I'm very happy, and I know no more words. I know words.
Speechless.
Yeah.
Okay. As Michael said, it's been 3 years. We waiting this revenge in this field. Same place also in 2019. we had our set play, and at the beginning of the match, our offense line was so it felt the pressure a lot. We start 4-0 for the French. Then we started grinding with the defense. We put a beautiful zone. We knew the French is gonna be a pain. The zone's gonna be a pain for the French. And then we keep grinding and grinding, and I'm so happy, so glad we made it. And we deserve it, and it's all about grinding, and these kids were actually beautiful. I'm speechless too, and my heart can't stop breathing because I'm gonna collapse. No, it's been huge. Thank you so much.
Was there a moment in the game where you almost lost hope and maybe thought, oh, we're not gonna get back from this hole?
C'è stato un momento in cui pensavi che non ce l'avremmo fatta?
Maybe at the start, when the France is 4 and our 0, but I hope, I believe in my squad, and I'm sure that we win.
Awesome, thank you. Do you have anything that you want to say to the fans or send greetings home? You can just go with Italian, no problem at all. Just following your fans, everyone who was tuning in for the stream.
Anche in italiano.
Nice and loud.
Questo è per tutta l'Italia e per quello che ci doveva riprendere da 3 anni fa. Lo dico anche per quelli che mi stanno guardando a casa, dei miei compagni, se ci saranno mai. È per tutti voi e per questa squadra e questi fantastici coach.
Un messaggio anch'io per quelli da casa, per tutti quelli che ci hanno visto, che ci hanno seguito. Un grazie grandissimo e continuate a sognare. Fly to glory with Italy. Grazie mille.
Grazie mille to you too. That was the Italian Under-17 Open champions, Italy, and we are done with the Under-17 division now.
Thank you so much, WFDF.
How good that must feel for Coach Fiore and Michael Olivieri. A brilliant victory for them here in the Under-17 Open final, and that closes our action, as Rahel mentioned, for the European Youth Ultimate Championship section here at Joint Juniors. Your mixed division champions, Hungary over Italy. Your women's division champions, Italy over France, and your open division champions, also Italy, again beating France in the final. Thank you so much for watching, but the action does not stop here because we've got a special little treat for you. We've got some evening ultimate for you under the lights. The under-20 mixed final between Switzerland and Hungary. That is penciled in for a 7 p.m. local time start in a little over 15 minutes time. And you can watch that on the World Flying Disc Federation YouTube channel. But all of the under-17s action for this week will be available for free in perpetuity here on ULTI.TV's YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you over on WFDF very shortly. For all of our ULTI.TV crew, for Christina Obermeyer alongside me in the booth, I have been Benjamin Rees, and I am saying that we will see you on the other side for the Under-20 mixed final.
The ultimate things in life are free, and we're keeping it that way. Subscribe to keep up with the latest games, tournaments, and community content. Share it with your team and friends, and drop a like to help spread Ultimate to more people. Spread the word, spread the love. ULTI.TV.
We are a group of Ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, ULTI.TV, the best in the world.
Become a member and
fund
our
work
work
to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
Always on the move? You can keep up to date with ULTI.TV on all of our social media channels. Like, follow, subscribe, share us with a friend, or send us a message just to say hey. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to grow Ultimate everywhere.
Right now, he's gonna have to bid. Just a football.
Huge layout block, unbelievable stuff on the front corner of the end zone.
Maybe just that boost of energy they needed.
Huge swing pass and a great grab there from Steer.
ULTI.TV.
Medalists of this tournament during under 70 Open Division. Amazing week and amazing games. Thank you boys for those amazing performances and wish you good luck in the future. For now, make some joy of your rewards and of course rise the trophy which will be presented by Monika Zaczkowska in a minute.